Remember when your mom would say that the gender gap in college was getting better? Here's a plot twist. It's actually wider now than it was in the 1970s, but it's been flipped completely around. Women are crushing it in college, men aren't showing up anymore. Here's where it gets wild. If you take a look at the average guy with just a high school diploma, they made more money back in 1979 than they would today. Adjusted for inflation, dudes are making 14% less than their dads did. And this explains why a lot of folks sound upset. Meanwhile, women's wages have gone up across the board. They're getting education, they're getting involved in society. It's like somebody hit reverse on the economic remote control. And 1 in 5 dads aren't even living with their kids. 1 in 5. Now, that is a huge problem. It's like as if every fifth house on your street had a dad who just wasn't there. Part of that really got me. Men account for 3 out of every 4 deaths from suicide or overdoses. 3 out of 4. That is not a coincidence. That is a big problem. Now, before anybody gets weird about this, guys struggling the most aren't the CEOs you see on LinkedIn bragging about their yachts. It's the working class folks and minorities who are getting hit with racism and this whole male identity crisis at the same time. One researcher basically said being a poor black man in America means confronting racism in every single social institution every single day. That is exhausting to think about. But what clicked for me is this isn't a men need therapy problem, even though therapy is great. This is the whole system has changed and nobody updated the manual problem. It's like you showed up to play basketball and everybody's playing soccer, but nobody told you that the rules have changed. Schools are set up in ways that are just better for how girls learn and focus. The job market shifted away from traditionally male jobs like manufacturing, construction towards service jobs and tech. And culturally, being the family breadwinner used to be like the main way guys defined themselves. That playbook is totally outdated. It's like watching somebody trying to use a flip phone in 2024. The phone ain't broken. The world just moved on and nobody gave them the upgrade. Men are struggling more than we think. So we're starting to find out that men are basically like becoming the blockbuster of gender demographics. No, we're not talking about it enough. So I started digging into this whole thing about guys struggling in America, and it's worse than some of the random headlines make it seem. Like, remember when your mom would so if you're like an 18-year-old guy from a working class family, college feels expensive and pointless. The jobs your dad and your granddad don't exist anymore. And everybody's telling you to figure it out on your own while also being sensitive and emotionally available. Your female friends are getting scholarships, good grades, landing internships, seem to have their whole lives mapped out. That's not a personal failure. That is a structural problem that needs structural solutions.